When we create a relationship in Power BI, we need to choose the filtering direction for this relationship. The filtering direction depends on the type of the relationship we set. So, for example, if we have a one-to-many relationship between two tables, we can either choose to make the filtering direction a single direction, meaning that only the table on the one side can filter the table on the many side, or we can choose to make the filtering direction goes both ways, so that the table on the one side of the relationship can filter the table on the many side of the relationship, and vice versa. So the table on the many side of the relationship could also filter the table on the one side of the relationship. In case we have a one-to-one relationship, the only option available is to make the filtering direction go both ways, so both tables can filter each other. And finally, if we have a many-to-many relationship, we can choose to make only one table filter the other table, and we can specify which one could filter the other one, or we can choose to make the relationship filtering go both ways. To make all that clearer, let's take some examples. So over here we have the same examples we used in the previous video that is titled How to Set Relationships in Power BI. And the first example we're going to use is the relationship between the company project table and the project hours table. Just to refresh your memory, this relationship was a one-to-many relationship, meaning that for each project name on the company project table, which is on the one side of the relationship, we have multiple project names on the project hours table, which is on the many side of the relationship. As you can see, Power BI has chosen the filtering direction to be one way, that is going from the company project table to the project hours table, and this is the default option. But if we double click over here on the filtering arrow and go to cross filter direction and click on this drop down, we can see that we can also make the filtering direction go both ways. For now, I'll just hit cancel and keep it as a single direction. And let's see how this would affect the tables we may create in Power BI. So let's say, for example, that I would like to use the project column on the project hours table to show the priority for each project using the priority column on the company project table. So if I go here to the report view, and I've already created that table, so if I hover over here, you'd see that I'm getting the project column from the project hours table, and I'm getting the priority from the company project table. As you can see on this table over here, it is showing the same priority for all the projects. That is because I cannot use any column on the project hours table to filter the company project table. But if I use the project name on the company project table, watch what happens. So if I put this here and take this out, it would show me the priority for each single project. And that's no wonder, because both columns, the priority column and the project name columns, are both on the company project table. Now, if I try to use the project name column on the company project table to show, for example, the number of hours consumed for each project on the project hours table, I should have absolutely no problem, and it would show me the number of hours for each single project. Why? Because the filtering direction goes from company project to project hours, so that I can filter the project hours table for each single project name and show the number of hours dedicated for each single project on the company project table. Okay, now going back to the first example we made, that is to show the project column from project hours table on that table over here, and to show the priority from the company project table on the same table, we are still having the same problem. But if I go back to the model view and set the filtering direction for this relationship to be both and hit OK. Now if I go back to the report view, I can see the priority set for each single project, because now I can filter for each single project listed on the project hours table and show the priority related to that project. The next example we have is the relationship between the append to table and the merge table. And just to refresh your memory, let me show you the content of these two tables. So these tables were related to employees' data. So on the left hand side we have the name column which has the employee name or the employee initial, and same thing over here on the left hand side column we have the employee initial. So the relationship between these two tables is 1-to-1 because for every single incident of the employee initial we have only one match on the other table. As the relationship is 1-to-1, the filter and direction has to go both ways, so both tables could filter each other. And if I click on this drop down and choose single, you would see that Power BI will give me an error message saying that the filter direction you selected isn't valid for this relationship. I cannot use a single filter direction, so both tables should be able to filter each other, which also means that I could use any column in any of the two tables to filter the other table. Finally, we have the many-to-many relationship between the city data table and the product sales table. Like we said before, in a many-to-many relationship, we can choose to make any of the two tables filter the other table, or even make the filter and direction go both ways. So if I click on the relationship arrow, you would see that I can make the city data table filter the product sales table, or even make the product sales table filter the city data table, or make the filter and direction go both ways. Let's keep the relationship as it is for now. So say for example that I would like to show the population column on the city data table by the state column on the product sales table. Can I do it with that filter and direction set right now? Well, let's see. So if I go to the report view, go back to the report and open this one. So I have used the state column from product sales and used the population column from city data. As you can see, it is showing me the same value for each single state, as if there is absolutely no relationship between the two tables. And that is because only the city data table can filter the product sales table. But if I make this relationship go the other way around, so that product sales table could filter city data table, and hit OK and go back to the report view, I would be able to see the population related to the states listed on the product sales table. Same thing would happen if I go back to the relationship view and make the filter and direction go both ways. Now if I go back to the report view, I will get exactly the same result. Finally, it is not recommended to set the relationship direction to be both, as it affects the performance of the model, and as the number of tables you have in the model increases, it makes it difficult to understand the relationship across all of these tables. And that's all we need to know about filter and direction in Power BI. See you in the next video. If you like this type of content, subscribe to our channel, hit like, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And by the way, we also offer Power BI consulting and training services at www.powerbimaster.com. See you in the next video.